From the intersection of I-70 and Highway 63, the heartland of Middle America, just a few miles south of the campus of the University of Missouri, welcome into the Living on Sports podcast. With you, as always, Michael Spencer alongside me, as always, Cheston McGuire. Cheston, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
Good. You know, it was a big weekend in the sports world. The second week, really, of college football. And the first official week of the NFL season got underway Thursday, and then games on Sunday and Monday. And definitely some exciting stuff going on.
Oh, no, it was a great weekend. I was just happy that it started back up. A couple upsets, and then some teams you knew would win were able to pull it out.
It was high time. It was one of those where you get the feeling it's almost here, and then it's here, and you're ready to spend Sunday on the couch watching games all day long.
Which I did. And then
that doesn't surprise me.
Then went to Chipotle.
Hey, oh, Chipotle. Oh, the Kobayashi status that we reached this weekend at Chipotle, which we will touch on a little bit later in the program. Trust me, you want to stick around for that. It is classic.
All right, so first up, Tom Brady was back this week. How do you think he did?
You know, I really wasn't that impressed with Tom Brady. I mean, granted, given the fact that he's coming back, yeah, that's nice. But they struggled against the Bills, who were not a very good team.
I disagree. I think the Bills are all right, but what impressed me was he threw it almost 55 to 60 times with a supposedly sprained shoulder and completed over 70% of his passes.
But if the Bills hadn't fumbled the ball at the end of the fourth quarter, the Patriots don't win that game, and we're all talking about the Patriots losing.
No, I agree, but I just think that Brady's performance is something that should be noted, coming back from that injury. And last year he wasn't looking so sharp in preseason, coming back from that injury. And so it's really 2 years removed from good football, and he played well, I thought.
I mean, he's a former Super Bowl MVP. He's supposed to play well. Let's see how he does for the rest of the season. It's tough to judge a guy on one game, and I don't want to do that. You know, I certainly wish Tom Brady the best of luck, but I'm not going to jump on the Tom Brady bandwagon and say, oh, yeah, he's back, when his team struggled to win against a decent Buffalo Bills team, not a good team. Do something against the defense that's really good, and then we can talk.
Did you see what Leotis McKelvin said? He said given 100 more chances, he would take that ball out of the end zone every time.
Given 100 more chances, he'd probably put two hands on the ball as well.
Yeah, I just don't think that was a very bright move from him.
Bring it out of the end zone. Who cares? I mean, people bring it out of the end zone all the time. Just freaking cover up the ball and know they're going to be stripping it
and don't fight for that one extra yard while they're stripping it. Go down.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a case of you have to know the time. It's a Hines Ward situation all over again, except Hines Ward's team ended up winning the game. You know, Hines Ward had the same situation against Tennessee. He could have dropped to a knee, let him kick the field goal, and the game would be over. He tries to go in, score a touchdown, ends up fumbling the ball. Bottom line is, hold on to the ball, and that situation never happens. Now, I will give Brady credit for coming back in a situation. His team was down, and he needed him to do it, but did you really expect him to do anything else?
No, and I think that's what I was pleased to see. I'm not a big Brady fan, but I was pleased to see that he was back to his form, that he led him on a 3-minute drive to get the ball back in their hand, get a chance back in the game.
And that's not shocking. That's what we expect from Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah, that's what we've come to expect. So also coming up, we got early injuries so far in the NFL. Donovan McNabb out 2 to 4 weeks. Troy Polamalu out, maybe even longer. And
Madden Curve.
Stacey Andrews and Brian Urlacher being put on the IR.
Yeah, Urlacher, I think that's a huge hit for the Bears because he's done now for the season. And the Bears aren't that good of a team anyway, and to lose a player of Urlacher's caliber is really going to hurt them.
No, I think that they were really planning on Jay Cutler to be the catalyst for this team, and so far he has just taken them out of it. Without having
interceptions? Are you kidding me?
He looked atrocious, and without having the anchor of their defense back there, they are not going to do well this year.
He was awful, and I think the Polamalu injury is going to hurt as well, but the thing about Polamalu is he's going to be back. He's not done for the season. And the Steelers are still a good defense even without Polamalu.
They luckily have a strong enough supporting cast. I mean, I think now their secondary is very exposed, and Tennessee was exposing it after he was out. And Tennessee's not a strong passing attack, so that could be tough later on. But for now, I think Pittsburgh's okay.
The big injury really is Donovan. And you look at Philadelphia and the whole Mike Vick thing, and now they've just signed Jeff Garcia, who I still think is not that great of a quarterback. What do they do now, though? They've got basically 4 quarterbacks on their roster, and this is going to affect Michael Vick at the most because them bringing him in, and they had to bring Garcia in because Vick can't play.
What about Kevin Kolb? He was supposed to be the future starter.
Yeah, they're giving up on Kevin Kolb. It's clearly obvious, and it's high time they did. He hasn't done anything. How many chances are you going to give a guy? So now Donovan's out. Now Michael Vick is put in a situation, well, he still can't play for a little bit, but when he does come in and play, now that Jeff Garcia's in, it looks like he's purely going to be a situational guy.
Yeah, and I think that's unfortunate because I think Mike Vick could do more for the team than Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia is a decent enough guy, but I just don't understand the signing at all. He said 2 days ago that he did not want to be signed to be a backup or fight for a job. He wanted to be a starter, and if he wasn't, he would cause locker room problems.
Well, he's going to come in and start right away.
But then when Donovan's back, what do you do? You cut him?
I don't know.
Do you hold four quarterbacks on your roster?
You can't do that, but I don't know that they're looking at Vic right now as a quarterback. I don't think they are, and I don't think they should because Vic isn't going to be a starting quarterback.
Not this year, at least. Maybe next year.
I don't even think next year he's going to be a starting quarterback. He wasn't a very good starting quarterback when he was in Atlanta. Now, 2 years removed from football in its entirety, coming back, and now you're going to put him back in quarterback even after a year. I don't think Mike Vick will ever again be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I think he'll be a decent player, but he'll never again be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And quite honestly, if I'm a GM, I don't want him as my starting quarterback because if he couldn't win in Atlanta when he was in his prime, why is he going to be able to win anywhere else when he's over the hill?
It's a fair point. All right, so another quarterback problem. Jake Delhomme, in his past 2 games, he has 11 turnovers, and John Fox is still saying he's our guy.
Now, the Panthers really messed up when they didn't go out and get Jeff Garcia because if there's a team that really needed a quarterback, it was the Carolina Panthers. I don't know what the deal is with Delhomme. He was the man a few years ago.
Then he had that Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, and ever since then it's been downhill. And it's really unfortunate. And if you're John Fox, I credit you for sticking with your guy, but tick-tock, the time has come. You need a new quarterback.
Problem is their backups are McCown and Matt Moore.
Well, and they need to do something. They're going to have to draft somebody next year, which doesn't help them at all for the 15 games they have left this year. But they need to do something about the quarterback situation in Carolina because wanting and waiting for Jeff Delhomme to get the job done clearly isn't working.
No, for a team that had Super Bowl aspirations, it seems they are pretty much shot right now.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I think Carolina's a good team.
All right, well, so who do you think had the better week? Adrian Peterson with 180 yards and 3 touchdowns, or Drew Brees with 350 yards and 6 touchdowns?
Both guys are freaks. Drew Brees really, really shocked me though because the Saints, offensively, I don't really see the Saints as an offensive juggernaut, and for Drew Brees to come out and have 6 touchdown passes, that's ridiculous.
I think the Saints are the second best offense in the league behind a healthy Tom Brady Patriots.
No.
Oh, who's ahead of them?
No, the Colts.
The Colts.
Easy.
Anthony Gonzalez out 3 weeks.
I would take
3
the
to 6
Colts
weeks.
and the Steelers
Marvin Harrison
when they have their
gone.
running game gone too.
Oh, the Steelers. Steelers don't run the ball at all. Ben Roethlisberger's too turnover prone sometimes.
The Saints haven't done anything ever.
Oh, all they do is score.
The Saints are good on paper, but they can't win a freaking playoff game to save their life.
I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying that they are an awesome offense.
Adrian Peterson had a great game on Sunday as well, but no, Drew Brees definitely takes the cake. Definitely week 1 player of the week right there for Drew Brees.
I see him toppling Dan Marino's passing record this year for most yards in a season.
We'll see. He could have got it. He could have got it a few years ago.
He could have got it last year if he just had a check down.
Yeah. All right, that's first session coming up. What do we got coming up?
We got NCAA football, Ohio State USC game, a couple top 10 teams losing, and Florida and Tennessee this week.
Oh, yes. The Swamp. We're going to be singing Rocky Top all night long. That's coming up next.